Howdy, and welcome back to the channel. I am Country Boy, and I put the... Wait a minute. Where's my head? Oh my god, where's my head? Oh, woohoo. Almost went a little crazy there for a second. Okay. Well, the spooky season might have come and went, but that doesn't mean that we're done with some spooky figures. And today, we're going to be looking at the Headless Horseman from the Four Horsemen. Hello, welcome back to Whatcha Figure, and like I said, we are going to be opening up the Headless Horseman from the Four Horsemen. This is the first figure I've gotten from the Four Horsemen. I've heard lots of good things about these guys. I hear they have hyper detail, they got good articulation, and they do not skimp on the accessories. And so I couldn't be more excited to open up a figure like this. They made a Headless Horseman last year, and everybody was talking about how it's one of their favorite figures of the year. And I was like, dang, I really wish I got that thing. I got total FOMO for that figure. I was like, well, what am I going to do? I guess I can't get one. Guess what? They came out with a retailer exclusive. I think it was back in February 2023 this year. And so I was like, well, I mean, how could I not get that? And it's a little bit different. It's got glowing features to this, and the coloring's a bit different. So I'm actually looking forward to it quite a bit, because I think I like the way this one looks better than the actual original version. So I guess without further ado, let's get to looking at the packaging. Okay, so here we have the packaging for the Headless Horseman. It looks really cool. I really like the look of this packaging. Very, very vibrant colors. It's got the greens and the purples and the orange, and just beautiful. You can see like a little skull dude there. You got the symbol for the Four Horsemen, the guys that made this. Just really cool. This is very, very poppy. It stands out. Looks really awesome. So this is the front. I'll show you the side, which is more of a continuation of the image. Four Horsemen and Figura Obscura, this is a part of their Figura Obscura line, which I don't know if you know of, but there's very specific characters that they make in this Figura Obscura line. Like, they do their mythic legions, they do their cosmic legions, and they've started this Figura Obscura, which kind of started with I think it was Krampus first, and then they did Father Christmas, which is obviously Santa Claus, and then I know they did this guy, obviously a version of this, the Headless Horseman. Then they've also recently done the Monkey King. That guy looked awesome. Plus they also did Edgar Allan Poe's Mask of the Red Death, which also, I was like, oh, I'm so close to buying that thing, but I didn't, because I didn't have this one yet. This is my first not Legions figure, I guess, but Four Horsemen figure that I've bought, and I hadn't seen the quality, I hadn't played with it yet, so I was like, I'm not going to buy more than one right now, so I'm going to start with this one, and then we'll see how it goes down the line. So maybe down the line, they'll do some retail exclusives for those as well, too. But look at this, look at the artwork on the back here. This is just so cool. Just really reminiscent of like Sleepy Hollow, whether it be like the Johnny Depp movie or even like the old Disney cartoon, which is a lot less, I guess, R-rated. But also got some credits here for the guys involved, so that's really cool. I like how they did that. NECA does that too as well, so I like that they give the credit where the credit is due. And then on this side, there's more imagery. You can do a bit of a write-up there if you want to read what that says there. Go right ahead, hit pause, and read that. But one thing that they do also with their figures is this. They got these magnetic covers, which come off. And there's the figure right inside there. But inside this slip cover thing is an image, is a background. So that's really cool. Like, this is basically Sleepy Hollow right here. So you can have it folded up somewhere in your display if you wanted to. It does not fit in a detolf. I looked, I tried. It doesn't quite fit unless you put it at like a weird angle or something. But yeah, this really cool artwork. Really love that. But here is the figures themselves inside the packaging, looking really cool. And man, yeah, I can't wait to get into the packaging. So hold on, before I do that, let's look at the top here. So classic Four Horsemen logo. There's the 4H, and then the moon. And then on the bottom here, there is just some more stuff to read if you want to. Go right ahead. Not too exciting. But like I said, there's nothing left to do but to get into the packaging. And before we actually get to the figure itself, I just wanted to highlight, even inside the packaging, you can see more imagery, just beautiful paintwork. That's just really cool. Like you can see inside there's a pumpkin with the glowing green, and then there's the bridge right there. It's just really well done. And even on the bottom there, like if you wanted to keep your guy displayed inside this box, you could totally do that because it is just really well done. So on to the figures themselves. Okay, so I wasn't sure how I was going to do this, if I was going to do the horse and the horseman at the same time, but I'll do it in 2 parts sort of thing. So I'll do the horse first, and it is really impressive. I've never had a Mythic Legion's horse, which I'm pretty sure is just a repaint basically of a Mythic Legion's horse that the Four Horsemen do, and it looks really awesome. This thing is detailed to the nines, like just like the saddlebags and the sort of the blanket and the saddle, the stirrups, and everything that goes with it. Just amazing. Like the bridle. It's just amazing. It's just really well done, and it has the articulation that you think a horse would have, to a certain degree. Anyways, it doesn't have like its elbows don't like stretch out like sideways or anything like that. It's pretty much straight forward and back, but it's got good articulation for what you would think a horse would do, and it just looks so cool. Like it's just straight black with bits of green, like the green hooves and the green eyes. Just amazing. So I'll show you some of the detail here so you can see, and just look at those glowing green eyes. And I will try and get all the glowing stuff shown on camera later. I'm not too sure how well it's going to show on camera, but look at the snarling mouth that it has. Just scary looking. Like this is a demonic horse, if I ever saw one anyways. I mean, maybe they could have put like flame effects or something, but I don't think it really needs it. It's a scary looking horse right there. And yeah, just straight black. But look at even like a little bit of veins you can see like a horse would have. Just so cool. And like the fur and like the green on the hooves, and like the green kind of goes up a little bit into the fur as well too. So I'm not sure it's supposed to be like a glowing effect, or if maybe there's just green bits of fur. But it is really awesome, really well done. I like just the way this goes underneath. It just looks like an actual holster for what do you call it, for a horse's, oh my goodness, saddle. Why couldn't I think of saddle? Yeah, so this is like the horse's saddle right there. Ah, man, just so really well done. This guy looks amazing. I'll show you some of the articulation while I am here. So the head can go, I can't go up any further because I think the hair kind of hinders it. It can go forward like that though. It goes forward and back like that. The neck moves forward like that and up like that. So just a little bit of neck movement this way as well too. It's very, very subtle. Then you're going to have the arm go up like that, or the shoulder, I should say. And then it's got movement back that ways. And then the knees go back about that far, which is decent. It's can rear up and look pretty cool. And then also you're going to have some articulation at the end of the hoof as well too, which is really awesome. Just this guy just looks amazing. Like I said, I'm pretty sure that this is just repaints of other Mythic Legion horses, but I don't have any of those, so I can't speak to that. And then the back legs go back like this, really well done. Like it can give you a good kick there. And then is there a joint here or something? Yeah, it looks like there's a joint here. Let's see how we can get that to move. It's a bit stiff, it looks like. Forward? Not too sure. It should move, but right now I'm having a little bit of trouble because it's a bit stiff. But there is a joint here as well too, at the knee area, back and forward. So there you go. And then you also got some movement here as well, where the hoof is. Let's see, also a little bit stiff, but there you go. You can get some movement there. So you're not going to have crazy articulation for a horse, but you're going to have good enough. You should be able to have it reared up and whatnot, and have it kind of trotting, sort of looking. It looks good. This is a beautiful looking horse, and yeah, I can't wait to get him with my rider on top. And he also comes with this, or she, I don't know, it's male, female, but it comes with this as well too. Like it's got like the mane. You can take this mane off, put this on, so it's like wind swept, blowing in the wind, or like it's reared up or something like that. Just a lot more movement effect. So just a beautiful looking horse, and yeah, I can't wait to play around with this a little bit more. But next up, we're gonna put the horseman on and kind of see how he kind of looks with everything that he comes with. Stay tuned. And so out of the packaging, this is what the horseman looks like. He comes with this pumpkin on his head, or a jack-o'-lantern, if you will, with just the more plain one. I guess it doesn't have like the flame effects like that one does, but it does have still a green glowing eyes and a green glowing mouth, and he looks really cool, like this. But before we get to him, let's get to look at some of the accessories that he comes with, which are these two hands right here. So these are ones, I guess, you could maybe hold his sword, because it looks like it's got holes opening for holding something. So I'm assuming it would be the sword, because the other hands that he has might be a little bit too open, or they serve different purposes, I guess. But these are really cool. They got like a dark purple. I don't know if you can really tell on camera. These are dark purple, and just really well done. It's really well detailed. You can see like the wrinkling in the leather and whatnot. Oh, it looks like it's doing a bit of flaking on me. Okay. So the paint itself, I guess, does rub off if you rub it too much. But there's also like little rivets inside there as well too. You can tell, just really cool details for these gloves, for these hands, I should say. Awesome, really awesome. Let's look at these other hands that come with it as well too. So this one is definitely a more open hand. I don't know if it's like, I'll get you sort of look or something like that. I don't think you could put anything in this hand for holding, because I don't think that is quite going to fit. But this hand here has a big peg on it, which you're probably thinking, okay, obviously I know what that's for. Yes, it's for holding the pumpkin. So you can put the pumpkin on his hand, and you can have it like he's holding it. You're going to throw it, or he's just holding it to look at it or whatnot. So that's what this one is for, which is probably what I'm going to have him with. Is I want him holding the pumpkin, not so much having it on his head, so that it looks like he has a head. And then for other accessories, he's got this right here, which at first I was like, what? Is this like a medallion or something? No. That is his neck meat. That goes, when you pull off the pumpkin, this slots in there so that it'll look like you can see like a bit of his spine, and this is where his head was obviously severed from his neck. And it's just one of the weirdest accessories I think I've ever had, but it makes sense that you would have, though. I guess you can like see like the bits of meat inside there. It is really cool. It's creepy, gross, but it'll be cool. It'll be perfect for what he needs. And then he comes with this sword, which is kind of a more generic, basic sword. Obviously, I think this is probably a Mythic Legion's sword that some character must have, I'm guessing, but it's still really well done. Got a good handle and hilt. I got the silver sheen with the blade and whatnot. So yeah, it's gonna look good in his hand. This is a pretty cool looking sword. Pretty simple, but does the job. And then this pumpkin right here. This is the showstopper, I should say. With the flames coming out the back and out the eyes, and it's gonna look really cool, glowing and in his hand and whatnot. It's just a really cool effect. I really love the way they did this. I think, honestly, the people that bought the original version of this figure might be a little jealous, because I don't think theirs had a glowing effect. Whereas this, because it's green, it has that effect. And I think the original was just straight fire. It was like orangey. And this is going to look really awesome. I can't wait to play around with this as well. So let's look at the figure itself. This is the Headless Horseman with the pumpkin on his head right now, obviously, which has really good detail, as you can see. Really cool. I got the stem up top there and the line work, and just, yeah, really, really awesome looking pumpkin. And then the guy himself, like the Headless Horseman, just got, purple. He's got a cool purple tinge to him, which I really appreciate. I think the original version was just straight black, which, I mean, that looks cool. That's kind of what you think of for the Headless Horseman anyways, but this one is a little more stylized, I'd say. I think it looks really awesome. And, I forgot that he does come with a cape as well, too, which I think slots in the back here. So that's another accessory I forgot to mention right here. It's his cape, which has these pegs and a chain that'll go around. So that's something I'll have to also play with as well, too. So stay tuned for that later. But yeah, again, this is his back. It is got some, malleable plastic. There's no soft goods on him or anything like that, but really cool belts going on. And he just, he has that look, like the old 18th century, early 19th century look. And even like the leg armor that he has here, it's got like a purpley tinge to it. Just really beautiful, really well done. There's just so much detail on this guy. Just awesome. Cannot wait to play with this. Like, just so cool. And let's look at the articulation while we're here, I guess. Articulation. So the neck and head don't really move too much. Oh, that popped right out. So there you go. That's one easy way to pop the head off. So that wasn't intentional, but it does have some articulation here. A little bit stiff, but it's a ball peg that goes on. It slots into his neck there, obviously. So that's going to be that. I'll just take it off right now since I don't want to shove it back in there. And there's the hole that we're going to be shoving this guy into to make sure that he has his neck meat going on. And then articulation, like I said, we'll do the Arms go up about that far, and no bicep swivel or anything like that, but he does have an arm joint there, or sorry, elbow joint. Single joint it looks like. And then he's got the wrist motion right there, and it goes forward and back. Not too bad. You know, this kind of reminds me of a NECA toy, basically. That's kind of how I'm feeling it. It feels like a bit different plastic, but very similar, articulation-wise and detail-wise. And then he does have a waist swivel right here. No ab crunch other than the swivel that you get here with the waist. Legs go out about that far. You know, not too bad, actually. This isn't very hindered by the plastic that's there. Not too bad. And then forward about that far. Really well done. And then, let's see, the knees. I don't know if they're double jointed or not. I think so. They go pretty far back. Oh yeah, single joint. I just popped that off by accident there. We're gonna have to do some editing maybe there. Well, I know Mythic Legions are able to swap body parts and stuff like that, so that's obviously a thing that they've built into this character as well too. You're able to pull off parts of his body while you're moving him. So he does not have a double jointed elbow, or sorry, knee, as I was just showing you there. A single joint, but he does look pretty good there, still at 9 degrees. And then let's see, the ankle rocker, very little bit movement down that ways, but pretty good movement that ways. And then let's see, rocks back and forth, just very slightly, not very much. But yeah, that's going to be the way he looks, his articulation. And we'll do some playing around with him, put the cape on and everything. We'll put the pumpkins on, and we'll do some comparing with some other figures that I have as well too, so stay tuned. So here, just for looks, you can see that I have his cape on, which it does not slot in the back at all. Like, there's no pegs or anything like that. So I'm guessing that the pegs, holes in the back, are just kind of a result of reuse from Mythic Legion's body. I'm guessing there's a Mythic Legion's body that has those, and then maybe you could slot like a shield on his back or something like that. I'm not too sure. That's my guess as to why there's those holes. But I love this pumpkin that I have in his hand. Word to the wise though, when you do decide to put that pumpkin on his hand, make sure you warm it up. You do have to warm it up because it is not very soft, the plastic. It was hard to get in there, so I kind of put it in some hot water, and it was much easier to put in there. So just a heads up, you might want to warm it up before you try playing with it. You don't want to break anything, obviously. And I put the windswept hair on this horse, which looks really cool. He looks just demonic as ever. I'm definitely going to play around with these guys a lot more. So, and then, yeah, you got the sword in his guy's hand. This looks so cool. And then I've got the meat, the meat medallion where his neck hole should be. So he looks really cool. So yeah, like I said, I'm gonna do some more playing with these guys. I'm gonna put them on the horse and see how hard that is. But stay tuned for more images and video and whatnot of these guys. Okay, so it's not impossible, but it is not easy either. It is a balancing act that you have to do between the horse's hooves, his tail, the rider on top, the Headless Horseman, with his balancing his pumpkin in his hand, because his hand does want to swivel a lot with the pumpkin on it. So it's definitely a lot of balancing, and a lot of time needs to be taken into consideration to put this thing to make it look like this. And I think he looks super badass. Like, this is a really awesome image, but I don't know if this is how I'm going to have him when I display him, because I feel like he might fall over at any point here. But he does look so cool. This is the most iconic look that I could think of to have this guy in. So next up, I am going to do some comparing with maybe some NECA figures, maybe some other figures that are kind of horror themed. So stay tuned for that. So I'm not too sure how well this is coming through on camera, but there is the glow effect. There's the eyes of the horse. There's obviously the jack-o'-lantern, which looks really good, actually. That's actually freaking sweet. And then if you go down, you can actually see the hooves of the horse. So, pretty cool effect. Probably better in person. So, as a little bit of comparing here, I thought I'd throw in some other horror icons. Starting with this one here from the Werewolf in London. Here we go. We got the werewolf from A Werewolf in London, which I always thought was really huge, almost the size of a horse. Well, when compared to this horse, he's not quite that size, but he is still a big dude and really freaky looking. And I think he pairs very well with the Headless Horseman. I think size-wise, I think he does a good job of fitting in with him. Another one I thought I'd throw in is Dracula, I thought, because he's got a cape as well, too. So I thought, you know what, let's see how he kind of fares. And size-wise, I think they're about the same size. Honestly, if the Headless Horseman had his head on, he'd be about the same height. So I guess that the Mythic Legions and Figura Obscura figures are similar sizes to the NECA one. So I guess they're probably about the 7-inch range is what I'd guess. So yeah, I think, and then they look really well together. Definitely different companies, but similar styles, I'd say. And I'll throw in just another rider here that I have, a Ghost Rider, who doesn't exactly ride a horse, but there is a version of him that does out there. So I thought I'd throw him in here, and he's I guess he'd be a little bit smaller because I know the Marvel Legends is about 6-inch size, but you know what? Without his head, you wouldn't know that. You'd say that these guys are about the same size. And I think he kind of goes with him a little bit too. He's kind of got a horror type feel to him when it comes to the Marvel series. And then the last comparison I'll do in here is another another NECA figure, the Frankenstein's monster, which I thought was just one of the best pairings because they both kind of come from like same sort of village type atmospheres. So I really like the way that this looks too as well. So I do think that my Headless Horseman is going to go in very well with my NECA Universal Monsters. I think they'll fit in very well together. They look really, really, really well together. Just good details, really good paint jobs on them all around. So that's going to do it for this video. I am CountryBoy9 with an underscore in there somewheres. Go ahead and give me a like and a subscribe. Check out my other channel with my friends called Wasted Opinions. We have a blast. Check those guys out. They're really cool. So again, I hope you like this. I am Country Boy, and I do put the sass in Sarsaparilla.